Hi, I'd just like to say thank you to all those people that have donated to the second cath lab appeal, all those people that have ridden their bike from Cairns to Cooktown over the last 2 or 3 years, or really at any stage, and just a big thank you to the entire Far North community from Cardwell all the way up to the outer Torres Strait Islands that have really made this project, putting in another cath lab, possible here at the Cairns Hospital. The contributions from this community are both unique and incredibly impressive and incredibly humbling. And I really look forward to the day later this year when we can show everyone the fruits of this commitment and this labour when we open a brand new cath lab, which will hopefully enable people to have procedures closer to home, a lot safer, and improve their lives and well-being. So thank you to everyone that's been generous with your time or your donations.
Look, today's a fantastic red letter day really for health in Far North Queensland. We've been working for a while now to raise money for a second cath lab and electrophysiology in the Cairns Hospital, and we've done it. The community have come on board 110%, they really have. Just in the last couple of months we've raised about $500,000, and some really big individual donors with cheques of as much as $150,000. Really fantastic support, because the community really know how important this is and really wanted to see it happening. It's a fantastic achievement for Cairns. Thank you to everybody who's contributed, and now this vacant space that we're in is going to turn into an absolute state-of-the-art facility that this town and this... There's going to actually be two catheter labs here. So the old one that's on the other side of the hospital is going to move to here, and a brand new electrophysiology specialist suite. So these are basically great big operating theatres with X-ray facilities, so that you can see what's going on as you put in automatic defibrillators, as you cure people having heart attacks, as you put in stents, etc., as you put in pacemakers, as you do ablations to fix arrhythmias. So there's going to be, for emergency heart attacks and for people with life-threatening arrhythmias, there's going to be two different setups, and everything state-of-the-art, world-class, happening here in Cairns. Well, this unit will service the whole of Far North Queensland, all the way up to the Torres Strait Islands, even to New Guinea. So there's about 300,000 people in that catchment. And the existing little unit, which doesn't do electrophysiology, is already running at about 95%. It's already essentially full. So we're going to be able to do a lot more patients. And this also means additional staff too. So there's an extra cardiologist, a specialist electrophysiologist. In fact, the advertising for that started 2 days ago. So that person's on their way. Some extra nurses, some extra ultrasonographers, technicians. It's a big step up in the cardiology services in the region, and it's going to make a real difference. It's going to save lives. Well, at the moment, specifically in the area of electrophysiology, so this is people with potentially life-threatening arrhythmias. At the moment, we can't do anything for them in this town. They have to go to either Brisbane or Townsville to get their ablations or even their specialist diagnostic services, their implantable defibrillators. That all has to happen out of town. Now that's a big problem. That's a problem for anybody, but it's really a problem particularly for some of our people from the Indigenous communities. Travelling away like that is a problem. People are missing out on timely treatment because of this. Now it's going to be able to happen fast and local, and that will save lives, I'm sure of it. It also is a big help for people with congestive heart failure in many cases as well. So this is a big step forward. But in addition to that, now we've got 2 units that can do the emergency heart attack treatment. So at the moment, the one existing old facility, if it's down for maintenance, as it was, some of last year, don't have a heart attack that day. The Hospital Foundation has been donating well in excess of $1 million a year every year. This is the biggest project we've ever done. It's $1.4 million, but we've raised the money and it's happening now this year. Well, we started a couple of years ago, and so the big Cardiac Challenge bike ride that we do every year has been contributing towards it. But the big campaign really only started 4 months ago. And in that 4 months, we've raised $500,000. And I just can't tell you how much, how grateful we are of particularly the big individual donors, all of whom want to remain incognito in all of this. None of them want any credit or publicity, but there's been some very big contributions from local people in the community who recognise how important this is and were prepared to write a cheque.
This is just an incredible achievement by the community to raise these funds, which are going to go a long way to help people, not just in Cairns, but all the way up to the outer Torres Strait Islands. So this is an achievement for the entire Far North community. We're now well underway in planning and recruiting people to build the second cardiac cath lab facility. It's going to be built right here in this empty shell that we're currently standing in. So hopefully this will look very different in 6 months' time. And this is going to enable us to perform procedures here that we currently can't do, and also add capacity to our already essentially at capacity cardiac facility. So these are things like performing emergency procedures on heart attacks, which we currently do, putting stents in people, things like closing little holes in the heart, which we do via keyhole surgery now. But most importantly, and the real big gain from this project is to perform electrophysiology studies and implant life-saving implantable defibrillators into people that need it. At the moment, we have to send people away, and I think that's the greatest problem and the biggest impact on people and their families. It's an incredibly hard thing when you're already having to deal with a serious cardiac condition to have to then worry about the obstacles to transferring people and getting family down for support and things like that. So this is going to enable all that treatment to occur here. As it stands at the moment, we have 2 people in our coronary care unit waiting for transfer to Townsville for these sorts of procedures, and it'll be fantastic when that can just simply be done here today. Based on our current numbers, we will be putting an extra 100 to 200 people through per year for these types of procedures, for these electrical types of procedures. But as we've seen in the past, there is always a proportion of people that just aren't accessing this work because they have to travel. And I'm sure that we're going to see even more as we build this facility and as it comes online. So I expect that it will be very busy very quickly.